Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, October 23rd. We have all you need to know about the status of an old Penn State fraternity house and upcoming community meetings in State College.
We also have more on a controversial legal decision made in California, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Carly Knowlton.
And I'm Kaitlyn Pfeifer.
A state appeals court upheld a ruling that Penn State has the right to acquire the Beta Theta Pi fraternity house property. The fraternity has been permanently suspended since Pledge Timothy Piazza died back in 2017. A Superior Court panel rejected of an appeal from the alumni-run house corporation that owns and manages the fraternity house. The judge originally concluded in 2021 that the absence of an active fraternity chapter gave the university the right to purchase the house.
State College is engaging the community to create a safer, more efficient multimodal transportation system. The plan covers topics like traffic calming, curb management, parking strategies, and micro-mobility expansion. The Next Gen management team will host meetings with the State College Borough Neighbors Association for several days this week. Community members should contact their neighborhood association leader for more information about the meetings.
Center County's annual Farm City Dinner is looking to celebrate local agriculture and conservation efforts. Farm City Week is a national observance meant to acknowledge the relationship between agricultural areas and the urban centers throughout the country. The dinner will start at 5:30 on November 1st at New Hope Lutheran Church in Spring Mills. Guest speeches and conservation awards will be part of the night. Adult tickets are $18 and children 5 through 12 are $8. Tickets must be purchased by calling ahead of the event.
College Township and State College are collaborating to shape the future of Thompson Woods Preserve. The plan includes more focus on public education on the 43-acre preserve's purpose, maintenance, vegetation management, and enforcement of regulations. The committees will consult the borough and township councils to establish a long-term vision that preserves the involvement of community input and diligence. Halloween is almost here and festivities are happening throughout State College. But what can event goers expect the forecast to look like? Mike Witowitz with Campus Weather Service has the latest details. Take a look.
From the students of the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening, State College. Mike Witowitz here with your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast. Starting things off by taking a look at time-lapse of our conditions today. You can see that we started off the morning quite pleasant. We saw some clear skies and some calm winds, which really set the stage for a beautiful sunrise. However, those clear skies and calm winds did allow our ground to cool off quite effectively overnight. And we saw things dip quite chilly overnight with lows into the middle 30s, which allowed some patchy frost to develop across the region. As we headed throughout the day, however, we really held on to that sunshine all afternoon, which really allowed our temperatures to warm up nicely into the upper 50s, which is right on par for average this time of year and really set up for a beautiful late October afternoon. Taking a look at our high temperatures across the region, we saw high temperatures top out anywhere from the middle 50s to the lower 60s for us, which, as I mentioned, is right on average for us this time of year. And as we take a look at your weather headlines today, we're going to see another frosty night as we head overnight and tonight into tomorrow morning due to some more clear skies and calm winds, which is really going to allow temperatures to drop quite significantly overnight. However, as we head into the day tomorrow, we're looking at more sunshine, kind of a rinse and repeat of today's weather, however, a bit warmer than we were today. And as I mentioned, with that warm up, we're going to continue to see our temperatures increase as we head throughout the middle and end of this week, and it's really going to make things feel more like September rather than late October for us as we head towards the weekend. Taking a look at our future weather, as I mentioned, just a few passing clouds for us overnight, but should remain mostly clear. As we head throughout the afternoon tomorrow, we're really going to see abundant sunshine develop for us once again. Most areas won't even see a cloud in the sky, so really a beautiful day to get outside and enjoy the nice weather tomorrow. As we head into Tuesday night and into early Wednesday morning, we are going to begin to see a very slow moving cold front approach from the west that's going to increase our cloud cover for the day on Wednesday. However, no precipitation is expected on this time. As I mentioned, with those cool conditions overnight, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued frost advisories for much of south central and southeastern Pennsylvania, where our temperatures are expected to dip into the mid 30s for most. Places further north and west where you don't see the advisories, it's going to get quite chilly for you as well, and you will also likely see some frost or maybe even some freezes early tomorrow morning, but you have already seen your first frost and freeze, so therefore no need to issue the warnings for you. But if you have any sensitive plants left outside in any of these areas highlighted in the light blue color, be a good idea to bring those inside tonight, as we are going to see those temperatures dip pretty close to freezing for us. However, juxtaposed with the cool nights tomorrow morning, as we head throughout the rest of the week, we're really going to see temperatures warm up quite significantly for us, as I mentioned. The reason for this is the strong ridge of high pressure that's going to develop over our region. It's really going to push our jet stream to the north and allow this warm air to surge northward for us, and is really going to set the stage for a really above average week temperature-wise as we head Wednesday through Saturday. As we look ahead towards the weekend, however, we're going to hold onto that ridge of high pressure, so it's still, we'll see our temperatures remain above average throughout the weekend. However, we're going to begin to watch this feature well off to our west. This trough is going to approach the region throughout the weekend, and it's going to pass through sometime early next week, and it's really going to drop our temperatures dramatically as we close out October and start November. But for now, looking at some very warm weather. As we take a look at our future radar, you can see, as I mentioned, just a few clouds moving in for the day on Wednesday. No precipitation, however. That holds true for Thursday. However, as we had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this energy is going to kind of slide just south enough into our region to increase our shower chances as we head throughout the weekend. However, not a washout by any means. Should still be quite a nice weekend to get outside. As we take a look at your forecast for tonight, we're forecasting a low of 36 degrees with just a few passing clouds, and as I mentioned, that patchy frost across the area. As we head into the day tomorrow, we're looking at brilliant sunshine with temperatures warming up very nicely to a high of 66 degrees with those winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we take a look at your 7-day forecast beyond Tuesday, as we head towards the middle of this week, we're going to see our highs warm up into the 70s for us with that ridge of high pressure in place, with just some mix of sun and clouds remaining for us throughout Wednesday through Friday. As we head into the weekend, though, that's where we're going to begin to see our shower chances increase as we see that trough of low pressure slide a bit closer to the region. However, shouldn't be a washout by any means, and temperatures will begin to drop off for us as we head into early next week. Well, that does it for your forecast. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm Mike Witowitz. Have a great night.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Olivia Dunn with your sports update. Number 11 Penn State women's volleyball fell in 4 sets to number 19 Purdue in an upset on Sunday. The Nittany Lions are now 14-5 on the season. Senior Jess Merzick tallied a career-high 27 kills, while fellow senior Cameron Hanna hit for 333 and notched 13 kills. This was the Nittany Lions Dig Pink match, with players and attendees wearing pink in support of breast cancer awareness. It was also the first time the blue and white lost at home since 2022. The Nittany Lions will see another Big Ten opponent this Friday when they take on Michigan in Ann Arbor. In another upset story this week, number 16 Penn State field hockey took down number 5 Iowa during Sunday's Senior Day, winning 2-1. Senior Sophia Gladio scored both goals for the Nittany Lions in their last home game. Senior goalkeeper Bree Baracco also had a hand in the victory, with 11 saves on the day for her last home game as a Nittany Lion. Penn State is now 7-8 on the season and 3-4 in conference. They'll travel to Bloomington on Friday to take on the Indiana Hoosiers for their last regular season game. Looking to the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers took down the Los Angeles Rams Sunday after a controversial fourth down play in the final quarter. Quarterback Kenny Pickett threw for 230, while the running back Najee Harris had 14 carries and 1 touchdown. Rams coaching staff and fans were angry, however, when a fourth down conversion attempt by the Steelers appeared to be short to the line of gain. With no timeouts, Rams head coach Sean McVay could not challenge, and the Steelers won 24-17. They host the Jaguars on October 29th. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Emma Aiken has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Emma Aiken with your entertainment update. With Halloween just around the corner, there is no shortage of fall events right here in State College. This Thursday, there's a free indoor trick-or-treat event for people of all ages in the community. The event will take place at Juniper Village Senior Living at Brookline from 6 to 8 p.m. The evening will be filled with snacks and candy, as well as walking a spooky trail across the campus. They will also be playing the popular Halloween favorite, The Nightmare Before Christmas. There will even be spooky beverages from Big Spring Distillery. Don't forget your costumes. Speaking of spooky, there is a haunted flashlight maze this Thursday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. The event takes place at Harner Farm, just 2 miles from downtown State College. Tickets are $10 and proceeds benefit the Starkey Hearing Foundation, the American Society for Deaf Children, and the Penn State Office of Student Disabilities for Speech and Hearing. There will be hot dogs, sweet treats, cider, and cocoa. Martin Scorsese's latest film, Killers of the Flower Moon, hit the box office on October 20th, collecting $23 million from over 3,000 North American theaters over the weekend. The film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Lily Gladstone. Killers of the Flower Moon is based on David Grann's nonfiction novel, which investigates the dozens of murders of Osage people in Oklahoma throughout the 1920s. The film had the highest earning debut for Scorsese since his 2010 film, Shutter Island. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Bronwyn Leiber will be speaking with Genevieve Richardson, the outreach officer for the club rowing team. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you say
I know.
She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
That the natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State,
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Bronwyn Leiber, and with me tonight is Jenny Richardson, the Outreach Officer for the club rowing team. Jenny, thank you so much for coming and joining us here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get into this. First, can you kind of like walk me through what exactly like the club crew team does and what y'all do as a program?
So we are a rowing team. We practice all year round, 6 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 to 10 on Saturdays. So we compete in the fall on 6K races, pretty regionally, and mainly Pennsylvania, New York, Virginia is probably as far as we get, and then train all winter and compete again in the spring for sprint season.
Dang, okay, so wait, can you kind of walk me through what a race day may look for y'all? Like traveling there, the before, the during, the after, maybe someone who's never been in person to watch a crew race?
Yeah, sure. So usually we leave Friday evening, afternoon. We stay at host houses. So people, families of the team generously host our team and provide a lot of good food and a place to sleep. And we get up super early Saturday morning, drive to the race course. A lot of unloading boats from our trailer because we transport them from here to the race.
Okay.
Making sure they're all set up right and ready to race. There'll be races from 8 a.m. usually to early in the afternoon. And then after we load back up the trailer and then come right back to campus, usually getting here around Saturday night. So it's kind of a down and back.
Okay, I don't think most people would consider this your typical everyday sport. So can you kind of give us your storyline of how you got involved?
Yeah, so I lived in England when I was in 7th and 8th grade, and they had a pretty popular rowing team there. And my dad actually really wanted me to get into it. And so I gave it a try, and I ended up loving it. My first high school I went to, North Carolina, didn't have a crew team, but my high school sophomore through senior year in New York, we rowed on the Hudson. So, and then I really wanted to do it in college, and Penn State was a perfect club atmosphere to get into.
Okay, so getting kind of back on track to y'all seasons, I think you guys have had a couple races so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. How have those gone?
We've had two major races. One was a scrimmage at home where we practiced, Bald Eagle State Park. That was nice. We raced against just two schools, so just kind of getting into the swing of the season. But we raced in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago at Head of the Ohio, we got a lot of medals. All of our novice teams brought home some hardware, and we're looking to do the same this weekend in Philadelphia at Head of the Schuylkill.
Okay, and then what does that mean for the rest of y'all season? Is there like, I know some sports have playoffs, tournaments, or just kind of ends. What is the rest of y'all season looking like?
So after this weekend, we only have one more race in the fall.
Okay.
And then we'll get into winter training, which is everybody's favorite time.
Of course.
We mainly just lift weights and go. We practice in the white building on the erg machines, and then we'll get back into racing once it warms up in the spring.
And is there a difference in importance of fall versus spring, or?
Well, there are different types of races. So in the fall, we race 6,000 meters typically, and then in the spring is shorter races, so 2Ks. So it's a sprint season. It's just a different style of race. We all line up at the same time, and it's not time based. It's basically it's just set up a little differently.
Do you have a personal preference?
I mean, 2Ks are nice because they're shorter, but they're a little harder just because it's all that effort just kind of squeezed into a really short amount of time. But I would say spring racing is my favorite.
And then, as we mentioned earlier, you're the outreach officer, correct? What exactly does that entail for the club?
So I manage all the social media, Instagram, Facebook. You guys can follow us at Penn State Crew.
Love it. Let's do it.
And then I reach out to people over the summer and throughout the year that want to join the club. We're pretty much open to all experience levels. We have a great novice coach, great women's coach, great men's coach. So we're really just looking to expand the team, rowers, coxswains, anything. So, yeah.
Now, let's say someone does happen to go follow the social media, checks out, seems interested. How might they get involved or reach out?
So either DM the Instagram or on our website, there's GroupMe links, or our email is always open. There's recruitment forms. I try to stay on top of all those emails and get back to anybody that I can. But yeah, we're always looking for people. So I'm definitely on the lookout for people that want to join. It's a great sport.
I'm very excited to see how y'all season goes. But honestly, you got to have a fun story time. You've been doing it for so long over the years. There's got to be a fun memory or maybe a fun fact someone who doesn't do the sport might not know. Anything you would like to share to the audience?
Off the top of my head, I just really enjoy race days. We got to go to Head of the Charles Regatta last year, which is one of the biggest regattas in the country, if not world. It's comparable to like Henley, which is the biggest like British regatta. It was just something like I've never seen. Rowing isn't the best spectator sport, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fair.
used to being watched and cheered for, but it was along the Charles River in Boston, and people line the bridges and all along the shorelines, and you're just getting cheered on the entire way, which is just something that doesn't happen a lot in the sport, and it just gives your race a lot more momentum when you hear people screaming at you the whole time. It makes you want to go faster.
Definitely nice to have some momentum for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So what exactly is the breakdown of the teams? And then I have a follow-up question that I'm kind of excited for. But first I want to kind of hear if y'all have different teams or anything.
Well, there's a men's team and a women's team,
Okay.
and then a novice squad. So our women's team, we race fours, and there's actually a pair this year. So there's 4 of us. It's in a Cox 4. And then the pair is just 2 people in the boat, one on one side, one on the other. The men, they're a little bit of a bigger team, so they can race 8s and 4s depending on what lineups are meshing best with what people in the boat. It's a lot about speed, but also boat chemistry.
Yeah.
So if you don't row well with others, you might need to switch up the lineup. And the novice are just kind of getting into it. We have a new novice coach this year that's doing great with just kind of matching people up, putting them in what lineups they can learn best in. So,
Okay, and then do any of these teams have any superstitions, or do you have any personal superstitions or anything you do before games or practices?
I would say I'm not a superstitious person. I do have some lucky socks I like to wear, but those are pretty much before test pieces on the rowing machines. I like to wear those for that. But otherwise, I know our novice coach rowed in undergrad, and her team had a superstition where they drank the lake water in every race that they raced in right before they started. But we race on the Schuylkill River, so
yeah,
don't take part in that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then, okay, yeah, very respectable. That's amazing. And then, honestly, do you guys? You were talking about those practices. How do you get up for them? I'm a morning person, but not that early. What do you do to get out of bed that early?
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, so you would think that this sport maybe wouldn't be the best for me. But honestly, it's hard to be closer to people than you are if you wake up at 6 a.m. and work out with them. That's why I think we have such a great team atmosphere. You get your workout over with before your day even starts, and it just builds big team bonding, and just you get close with people you sweat with at 6 a.m. So
Great mindset. Okay, my final question for the evening is, what are you looking to accomplish this season, or do you have any big personal goals?
As a team, obviously, we're just looking to improve every race. I think is big for us because we're definitely a smaller program. So bringing home some medals every race is always ideal, but not always realistic. And so I think just definitely improving as a boat every single race throughout the team, all boats that compete, just getting as much time on the water as possible just to get stronger for the spring. And just continue to do as best we can and keep on meshing and recruiting more people.
Well, I look forward to hearing how the rest of y'all's season goes, and I hope it's incredible. But thank you so much for coming on and joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And telling us just more about the club in general. Now stick around, because coming up next, Carly and Kaitlyn will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Baby Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kip.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
A controversial policy from a school in Southern California is currently on hold by a judge. The part of the policy in question is the requirement for school staff to tell parents in writing if their child asks to change their gender identifications. The Chino Valley School District School Board approved the policy over the summer. The policy also required staff to tell parents if their child starts to use bathrooms designated for a different gender. The owner of an unauthorized Central Californian lab has been arrested for failing to obtain proper permits to manufacture COVID-19, pregnancy, and HIV test kits. The arrest follows an investigation by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Jay Beizhu and others allegedly manufactured, imported, and distributed thousands of these mislabeled test kits in the U.S. and China between December 2020 and March 2023. The investigation began when medical test kits were found in a warehouse in December 2022, sparking rumors of biological weapons, which were later disproven. A Pentagon report on China's military power says Beijing is exceeding previous projections of its nuclear weapons arsenal buildup. It warns that China may be pursuing a new intercontinental missile system that would allow Beijing to threaten conventional strikes against targets in the U.S. The report also said that China is intensifying its military, diplomatic, and economic pressure on Taiwan and towards all of its regional neighbors. U.S. soldier Travis King is facing a slew of accusations by the U.S. Army. Charges include desertion, soliciting child pornography, and assaulting fellow soldiers. King's journey began when he ran across the demilitarized zone into North Korea in July, despite being scheduled to return to the U.S. for possible disciplinary action after serving time in South Korean prison. Amidst these developments, King's family and legal team emphasized the importance of fair and cautious approach to his case. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News. Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.